Hi everybody, I hope you're doing great. Today I wanted to talk to you about energy work. And I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat. I don't know what that's about, but I'm feeling fine. I think we can agree that we're all made up of energy. I mean, even my tripod is made of energy. It's really just about arranging the molecular structure or whatever. I'm not a scientist, I just had a very short course on that part, but nevertheless, we are made of energy. Everything in the universe is energy. It's what we do with that energy. Do you think we can move it? Sure. That's how we transform one thing into another. But we can move energy that's not as tangible. If we can move energy through objects, why not? Through the universe, with our minds, with our intentions. There's a lot of healing channels in the world that claim to be healing. Okay, I don't like the word healer because you're not really doing the healing. That is the energy coming through you. And let's talk about healing for a minute. I truly believe we can move energy with our bodies. But are we actually doing it? I think you have to be very careful if you get energy work. It should be from someone very reputable who has proven results. Because I think there are a lot more people that claim to do energy work than are actually moving energy. So taking the ego out of it, you're not doing the healing, you're a healing channel for the universe, for God, for spirit guides, or whoever it is you feel that energy is coming from. So I myself have had healings from a lot of vessels. It goes through the vessel. So a healing channel, well, I'm very particular about them in the sense of physical health. They say it's a lot about intention. I think intention's definitely a very important factor when someone's laying hands on you, or even just doing, energy work hands off. But just as a sample of energy work, you can do this yourself. Go as close with your two hands as possible. And yes, there's probably heat being produced there, but there's also a tingle you might feel. Just get as close as you can without closing them together. And do you feel it? Okay, that is energy. You feel the energy pattern, not just the temperature change. And they do say that healing produces a lot of heat in your hands. But let me backtrack on the vessel. I have gotten a lot of healings from other people over the years. And I have come to decide that I prefer not to get healing from just anybody. There are times when someone offers healing energy and they're not healthy. Yes, anyone can move energy, but I prefer not to have this work done by someone with addiction, smoking, morbidly obese, because there are things going on in their own body. And yes, a lot of people agree that, it's not about you. It's about the energy that they're coming through the body to your body, the transfer of energy. So let's say we have mountain water from springs in this beautiful lake area, whatever it is, but this water, this crystal clear water, channels down the mountains, right? And that would be lovely to drink. But what if you put it down corroded pipes that are rusty and have toxins in them? Very old rusty pipes, right? Just think of that. Would you like that water poured through those pipes before you drink it? No, no. So while I appreciate the intentions, it is just my personal preference to not get healing energy from someone that's not healthy themselves. So I have approached someone for healing, and I could smell the cigarettes, and it's not for me. Did I accept it? I was gracious about it, but I was not happy about it. And I think doing your research before you go to someone for healing energy, I think that's really paramount. So that's just my opinion. Not everybody agrees with that. It's just my opinion and personal preference. But here's the other thing. I don't know if people are moving energy the way they say they are. And what I mean by that is, I'm a Reiki 2 practitioner. I don't do it anymore. It kind of is an MLM that saw its day. So Reiki doesn't excite me, especially when there are so many other modalities like universal healing and other things that have come down the pike since then. But energy work is energy work, and I just don't think you need to pay hundreds of dollars to call yourself a Reiki master or practitioner. I'm not saying it's a scam, because I absolutely felt the difference in my hands when I was initiated. But I just don't think it's necessary to do it that way. So I don't offer Reiki. I did in the beginning. I was very excited. And when you first get a Reiki degree, that's exciting because you feel that heat in the hand. Eventually that went away. I taught classes on universal healing and about intentions and moving energy, but that doesn't mean everybody can do it. That's like saying because someone took a course in being intuitive and psychic work, that doesn't mean that they walk out of there being a psychic. It might help you make better choices for your own life, and you can get excited about anything that you're studying, and that doesn't mean you're doing it. So not a lot of light workers are going to be happy with me right now, but if you actually are genuinely moving energy, fabulous. And I'm not saying that there are people scamming people. I am simply saying that there's really not a lot of tangible evidence that you're actually moving that energy, even though I know that energy exists. Maybe you need more classes, but not everybody's going to be a psychic because they don't have that kind of talent. I believe in prayer. I believe in good intentions and well wishes, but I would suggest nobody get long distance healing. That is one other thing that kind of bothers me. A lot of things bother me. I'm getting old and crotchety. I'm just picky at this point, but I want to share those things with you. And if you do get Reiki or any other healing techniques, comment down below. Tell me what your experience is. A lot of times people do walk away from healing channels saying, I just didn't feel anything, or it really didn't work. I just find it's hard to measure its effectiveness. It's hard to measure if someone is actually doing that. But I believe they're well-intentioned, and they are praying in a way that does help you feel better. You may have a health issue that was not resolved through this, but maybe it calmed you. Maybe it helped you deal with it better. Because a lot of people who have severe illnesses and conditions, they might be a little anxious about it. So that can help. I just don't want anybody walking in and saying it's going to cure my diabetes or it's going to cure my cancer, because it most likely won't. I think allopathic medicine has its place, and that is like mainstream healthcare. If you have a broken arm, no healing in the world is going to be like healing with a boot or a cast, you know? And that doesn't mean that there aren't miracles every single day, but I do want you to just be a little more mindful about that. Now, energy is also moved around with psychic work, intuition, mediumship. All the things that I do require energy. And when I got sick with cancer, I decided specifically to let go of Zoom calls and phone calls in lieu of seeing people in person, because I get more energy in person. So the only virtual readings that I still offer is via email, like a 2-question reading. But even then, it's not mediumship. They have to ask me about life situations, job, career, family issues, whatever, or just moving and wanting to know if this area is better than another. So that I can do, but I want to be at my best. And that's why it's more important that I don't do those anymore, because I don't have as much energy as someone with cancer. So I want to make the best of that because I love my clients. And it's not fair. I just don't feel like it's fair to not give them the best reading. And it's interesting because even with my illness, my messages are great. It's just that I tucker out really fast if I have to use more than I have. And that's what happens with the phone and the video. So I'm taking Neon to a friend's house, so maybe we can finish this in the car. Neon, if you're new to my channel, is my stepchild who we're changing custody order so that Chris and I have them full-time with visitations with mom. So we're just flip-flopping things. Neon, I will call them they. That is their pronouns, they, them. So on my cancer channel, a lot of people have asked me, how many are there? So Neon is a great kid. Oh my gosh. So happy to be here and to be able to take them to their friends. I'm not working as much as I used to, obviously, and it's really working out well so far. So fingers crossed. I don't want to do that way. I'm not giving you the finger. Okay. I'll see you in the next clip. I just dropped Neon off and I did a phone reading. I sometimes have to bring my headset. I know I mentioned that I don't really offer them anymore, but I got a call from someone. They required an exception. So I had a client and student and turned friend many years ago when I lived in Gettysburg. And I just got a call from her mother that she passed a few days ago. So I told her, she's like 86, of course I will do a phone reading for you. She hasn't really left the house for a long time. So we arranged that for today. And of course, I was dropping Neon off. So I took my headset with me so I could be hands-free. And turned out she had her other daughter with her, which is a lot more energy. It requires a lot more. And in fact, in the day when I had a full service menu, if you wanted to do a family grief session, I offered that, but there was a additional fee for it. I wasn't going to do that this time. So I said, the energy is a little tough, but she can stay in the room. And, she decided to leave and she's going to get her own reading, which is fine. So I read for mom. And so that's just an example of, working with energy and also knowing your limits. But I think the read was a success, but it was also very sad. And the woman was on vacation with her husband and had a heart attack. And they had her on life support for a day, and the family, they knew she would be in a better place to let her go. So that's what they did. And she really just wanted to make sure that Kathleen was okay and that she was with the Lord and, on all according to their religious beliefs. And yet they were very woo-woo. But see, I believe that if life is a buffet. And And I'm sure that Kathleen will send her family signs, because she was a very strong student from what I can remember, and just and as well as Christian. And I don't know if that turns someone into a Christian mystic. I don't know. But anyway, rest in peace, Kathleen. If you would like to learn more about using energy, I think you need to start with where it comes from, but also where are those vessels in your body? So that way you can work with, you have to know what you're working with, right? Know your tools. So my suggestion would be to study the chakras, CHAKRAS, plural. There are 7 major ones in the body. They align with the endocrine system, and they have different colors and different energies, and I think you would benefit from that. I think everyone would benefit from knowing that. They also correspond to the yoga poses, and each of them has unique meaning, not just the color, but they're all on a mind, body, spirit level. They all mean a little different on each level. Just an example, the throat chakra, it's a light blue or turquoise. It can be about the thyroid on a physical level. On an emotional level, it can mean you're not speaking your truth, and that you need, someone needs to hear something you have to say. And on a spiritual level, it's a part of the connection to the universe. If it is healthy, then you may be speaking your truth, and everything is, good dialogue, kind of like that with others. And if it is unhealthy, communication could be stifled, communication is blocked, you're not speaking your truth, you're not speaking up when you should be, and it can also even be about gossip. Anyway, it's very interesting. Chakras are very interesting. Chakra means spinning wheel. It's a Sanskrit word, and so I'm going to leave you with that. We could go over the chakras if you would like to in a different video, and if you would like to do that, just comment below. And the other thing is, do you have any favorite topics that you would like me to address? Any kind of metaphysical or spiritual topics? Just put them in the comments. And if it's something that I'm pretty knowledgeable about, I'd be happy to do that. Okay, I'm going to close now and talk to you in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and love to you all. Bye.